What's up guys, today I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna answer a question from one of my subscribers, Giorgio Bonizzi, and it's about CO2 and O2 tables for freediving and how many times should we do this and how long. And I get this question a lot of times from my subscribers, and I'm very grateful for this because my channel is picking up. I'm getting more subscribers, more views, so the questions start coming in. But I'm also a bit surprised that a lot of these questions are about the same: CO2 and O2 tables for freediving. Hi Gert and Giorgio from Italy. First of all, Merry Christmas to all of you. Feliz Natal para todo mundo. And I wish you a lot of positivity because that's what we're gonna need the next couple of years. We gotta keep on believing in what we want to do. And if that is freediving, then that's what you do. Keep on freediving. If you're new to this channel, my name is Gert Leroy, helping you master freediving. And honestly, when I started freediving, my life just simply changed for the better. Freediving gave me a space, a way to relax my mind and let go of all my tension. I have found my peace. And now I want you to find your peace through the practicing of freediving. So if you like the idea, consider subscribing and hit the notification bell. So, Giorgio, I want to thank you for your passion in doing these videos. Thank you so much. I discovered the world of apnea a few months ago and your tips helped me to find out a lot more than I imagined. Thank you so much. So here's the question. I'm trying to train my breath and my lungs for O2 and CO2 tables for static apnea, but I still have some doubts. How many tables per week? How do I know I can upgrade my tables? Is it better to have mild hyperventilation during the sessions of static apnea, or should I train myself without it? Thank you for all you do. I wish you good luck with everything. Thanks for the question. Let's start with the beginning, right? How many tables a week? So first of all, I understand why people are asking me questions about tables, because when I think about when I was a beginner, that's what I wanted to do. CO2 tables and O2 tables, because they are part of courses or some courses and people talk about it. And so as a beginner, you kind of think that this is what you have to do. Well, in fact, it isn't. I mean, do you really have to do tables? Because tables are about numbers, right? What is a table? Table is you do something like you hold your breath for a certain amount of time, and then you rest for a certain amount of time, and then you hold your breath again for a certain amount of time, and then you rest again. So it's all about time. Now, the way I try to teach freediving and the way I try to bring it in my videos is very different. I try to stay away from numbers as much as possible, and numbers doesn't necessarily mean how long can you hold your breath or how deep do you dive. Numbers means just all kinds of numbers, so tables or numbers. The minute you have to look at your clock, that's numbers. I try to stay away from it. Do you need tables when you're a beginning freediver? I would say no. Now let me explain that. As a beginner, I think your focus should be on requiring skills. You have to learn everything. If that is static breath holding, then you have to learn the skill of relaxation. Relaxation is a skill. Now, relaxation you need for every kind of discipline in freediving, of course, but even more in static. If that is deep diving, you have to learn the skill of equalization. You have to learn correct body position. Everything has to come together, you know. That is what your focus should be on. If your focus is on doing tables, then I'm afraid you're probably not going to put your focus on all the rest which I just mentioned. So as a beginner, you simply don't have to do tables. Now, is it wrong doing tables? Of course it's not wrong. I mean, when you do tables, you are eventually training, and any kind of training is better than doing nothing, right? I mean, it's like discussing the perfect workout in the gym. I mean, any workout is better than sitting on your ass and watching TV, right? So it's the same in freediving. The moment you're holding your breath or you're doing anything on breath hold is always better than doing nothing. So are tables wrong? Of course they're not wrong. But should they be your priority as a beginner? I don't think so. Another thing, we're talking about static tables here. As a beginner, you basically have to do a bit of everything just to get a well-rounded, all-rounded freediver. But as you get better, you will realize that training for static doesn't really help you that much in becoming a deeper diver. Now, if you're a beginner, and 99% of my, well, I hope 100%, because that's for whom I'm making these videos, so all of you guys are beginners, then you just do a bit of everything. The question is training static really gonna help you in diving deeper? Listen, if you can hold your breath for 4 minutes instead of 3, then that's obviously gonna give you more confidence, and if you have more confidence, you're gonna dive better. So in that sense, I would say, yeah, train for it. Train a bit of everything. Do you really need the tables as a beginner? I'd say no. I'd say just hold your breath a couple of times without really paying attention to the time in between or even how long you hold your breath, because it's more about learning to hold your breath. And you know, going for maximums and all that kind of stuff, I mean, it's in our nature as humans to always want to do more. If you hold your breath for 3 minutes, then the next time you want to hold your breath for 3 minutes and 10 seconds. And if that doesn't happen, then you're not going to be happy, you're going to be disappointed. It's actually so ridiculous to the point that I'm sometimes asking myself, what are people doing here? I mean, you held your breath for 3 minutes. Now we're 1 day later. You held your breath for 2 minutes and 55 seconds and you're not happy anymore. What is going on? I mean, is this how you approach freediving? It shouldn't be, but unfortunately that is the reality. Step away from these numbers, guys. You are beginners. So I understand the question perfectly, and I know you guys don't want the answer that I'm giving you right now. But sometimes you have to hear what you need instead of what you want to hear, all right? So I'm gonna be the bad guy today. You're not gonna like this video. If you really need some kind of guidance or some kind of numbers, because the question was, how many times per week should I do this? Well, it all depends on what else do you do, you know? If you just went to the gym and you did heavy squats and deadlifts, and then you're gonna do a CO2 table, that's gonna be very heavy. If you didn't go to the gym and you're all fresh and then you're gonna do your table, you're gonna feel very different, you're gonna be fresh. So it all depends on what you do during the day and during your week. Are you only holding your breath for static breath holding? Or are you diving? Or are you doing other kinds of sports? It's important, you know? So I would not advise you to only do tables for static, unless that is the only thing you can do because you don't have access to the water. But what is, in my opinion, what yields better results is training in the pool. So if you have access to a pool, then I would advise you to train in the pool. Do all kinds of breath hold exercises in a pool without really focusing on static. Try to move when you hold your breath, because static is a very different discipline from all the other disciplines because you don't move. And just because you don't move, the variables are different. So when you move, even if it's just a little bit, then you are simulating a dive way better than static. A static breath hold is not a simulation of a dive. When you move underwater and you hold your breath, that is more like a simulation of a dive. So in the pool, what you can do is when you're holding weights, you could try to walk on the bottom of the pool. You could try crawling on the bottom of the pool, pull yourself forward while grabbing the edges of the tiles of the pool with your nails. Lay down on your back on the bottom of the pool, move a little bit, roll, whatever it is, move. Move in the pool. That is how you get comfortable. That is how you take your focus away from numbers. And that is how you eventually enjoy freediving way more than just focusing on tables, which comes with numbers, of course. I hope this makes sense. Stay away from the numbers, guys. So I said I was gonna answer your question, right? And I didn't answer it yet. So, okay. So if you do tables like hard CO2 tables every day, it's gonna be too much. You're gonna be burned out pretty soon. Demanding training, you simply don't do this every day. When you go to the gym and you lift weights, you don't go for maximums every single day. There is not a single power lifter or weightlifter, Olympic weightlifter in this world that goes for maximums every single day. It doesn't happen. So why should you do this in freediving? Why do you think that the variables in freediving are so different than in another sport? It's not. You have to give yourself rest. So I would say once or twice a week doing a demanding CO2 table is probably enough for a beginner, you know. I mean, you need to focus on other stuff as well. Technique, equalization. There's other stuff you have to learn. All right, it's getting darker here, so I gotta finish this up. How do I know I can upgrade my tables? Okay, so when your CO2 table is too easy, then you gotta upgrade it the next time. When it's too difficult, when you're on the edge of giving up, like, man, I can't do this, then it's too hard. Then the next time you have to dial it down a bit, downgrade. When it's a little bit difficult, but not too much, and you feel like, wow, this was actually hard enough to train and to actually learn something and have new experiences and sensations in my body, and I really feel like I made some progression here, not specifically in time, but in everything you feel and the way you control your breath holds, then that's perfect. Then the next time you can do that again, because making progression is not about numbers. Making progression is about how you feel. Making progression is how you recover. Making progression is about how you approach this whole table. It's not just about numbers. And then after a couple of times, when it becomes more easy, then you can upgrade your table. So you have to learn how to listen to your body, and you have to learn how to know when something is just good enough for you or when it's too hard or too easy. So that's why I, in general, don't answer questions like how many times should I do this and for how long, because it's very individual, of course, and you have to learn this yourself. You have to learn yourself how to create your tables, how to make your tables, if that is what you want to do. Once in a while you can do tables, but don't go overboard with it. Is it better to have mild hyperventilation during the sessions of static apnea, or should I train myself without it? I like mild hyperventilation as a breathe up for static, which is a 5-5 breathe up, 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out. But I don't think that this is what you are talking about here in your question. I think you're still talking about tables, right? And let me tell you something very important about tables. When you do tables, you don't do breathe ups. There is no breathe up in a table. In a table, there is only the time that you breathe in between your breath holds. So the first couple of seconds that you breathe after holding your breath will be, of course, a recovery breath. And how does a recovery breath look like? Something like this. Now, what is this? Well, it's hyperventilation, of course. Well, actually, it's not, because there is the whole discussion about hyperventilation can take us on for hours and hours and hours, because hyperventilation means breathing more than you need to breathe. And when you're recovery breathing in this way, you're not breathing more than you need. You're breathing exactly what you need at that time. So it all depends on what exactly is the definition of hyperventilation. The way you have to breathe in between your breath holds is simply the way that your body wants to breathe. So if that is like this, the first couple of 10-15 seconds after you've been holding your breath, then that is what you do, because your body needs it. But after some time, you will have caught up with your breath yet, and you will not feel this necessity anymore to breathe like this. So then you can slow down your breathing to the point of just breathing normally, which we call tidal breathing. Tidal breathing is just a small inhalation, small exhalation. You barely notice it. I cannot demonstrate this because you don't see anything. So, do you have to do mild hyperventilation in between your tables? It's basically an irrelevant question. My advice to you is totally forget about the concept of should I hyperventilate or not, but focus on how your body wants to breathe in between breath holds. Okay? Does that make sense? So that will be in the beginning of your recovery. That will be the recovery breath. And as time proceeds and you will be more recovered already, you won't need to breathe like this anymore, and you will breathe more normally. So that's how you breathe in between tables. I hope this all makes sense. This is a bit a different video than what I usually make. I will do dedicated videos later on the topic of hyperventilation, because I keep on getting these questions as well, and it's important. So thank you, Giorgio, for your question. And greets from Brazil. Merry Christmas to everyone. Stay positive. One day this misery has to end, right? It has to stop. So things will get better. If you want to know more about mastering freediving, then hit the round subscribe button here. And here I have a video about the mild hyperventilation breathe up, the 5-5 hyperventilation breathe up to hold your breath longer for static breath holding. So if that's what you like, go ahead and click on that. And I see you next time. Peace in every breath.